Okay. Now that we have not recorded that, let us, and everybody who watches this is like, oh, what did they not record? What special thing happened? Don't worry. All right, let's do our prayer before study. Christ, my Lord, the giver of light and wisdom, who opened the eyes of the blind man and transformed the fishermen into wise heralds and teachers of the gospel through the coming of the Holy Spirit, shine also in my mind the light of the grace of the Holy Spirit. Grant me discernment, understanding, and wisdom in learning. Enable me to complete my assignments and to abound in every good work. For to you I give honor and glory. Amen. Most blessed Lord, send the grace of your Holy Spirit on me to strengthen me, that I may learn well the subject I am about to study, and by it become a better person, for your glory, the comfort of my family, and the benefit of your church and our nation. Amen. All right, we are finishing up the reign of Elizabeth. I mean, there's much more we could say about the reign of Elizabeth. We're not finishing it up exactly. But we're finishing up our Dorothy Mills book. And I want to start with that because we're going to spend most of our time talking about Shakespeare. I'm going to do other things so you don't have to listen to the same things you listen to Thomas listen to, except some of it will be, but other things won't be. I'm not going to read that Hamlet book again. But first, let me find our questions. Okay, so we are talking about the late 1500s, all right, which is the 16th century. And let's remind ourselves of the many, many things going on all at the same time in that century. First of all, can anybody tell me one thing that happened in the 1500s? Basically, anything important that we talked about this semester is going to fall in the 1500s. What's something important happening in the 1500s? All you got to do is think about things we've talked about this semester.
It was 1500.
Oh, say again. Henry VIII. Henry VIII. And what did he do? Okay. So the reign of Henry VIII. Charles V is Holy Roman Emperor, and he doesn't want Henry VIII to divorce his Aunt Catherine. So what you're talking about in general, make it bigger. Make it bigger than that.
Well, England lost control of their last town in Spain.
Okay, England in France. Their last town in France, Calais. All right, but everybody think for a minute. We're talking about Henry VIII and his wives. What's a bigger issue he was part of? Okay, a split in the church, the Reformation. In 1517, I think I've got that year right.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Well, just a second. Let's not move on yet. In 1517, Martin Luther nailed those 95 Theses to the door in Wittenberg and started a firestorm in the church that erupted in the Reformation. So this is happening. And what else? And what eventually happened because of the Reformation? Just a few weeks ago, what was happening in France? It wasn't happening a few weeks ago. We talked about it a few weeks ago. Okay, just a second. Everybody's talking at the same time. Ann? The St. Bartholomew Day Massacre. One group was just murdering the other group in the streets on occasion. Okay, this is happening. Now, Ben, we'll go to what you said. Leonardo da Vinci. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci are in Italy. They are creating amazing works of art. He's painting the Sistine Chapel. This is all at the same time. This is all going on at the same time. All right, so something special happened in 1492 that went on into the 1500s.
1492.
We should all know this.
Spanish treat the Muslims.
Well, that is true. The Spanish cleared the Muslims out.
The ocean blue.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. Indeed. I'm sorry, Ann. So what's happening in the 1500s that caused?
America.
The America. It didn't, and by the way, it didn't get created in the 1500s. It was already there. But all of the travel back and forth from the old world to the new, this is all happening at the same time. Let me picture this. Like you open up the newspaper and it's, oh, in this article, the Lutherans are saying this terrible things about the Pope. Oh, and in other news, the Spanish are invading Mexico. And in other news, there's been a big war in France and a bunch of people have been killed because they were Calvinists. And then it's, in the side column, it's Calvin's tips for parties in Geneva. And his tips, it's really short list because it just consists of one thing. Don't have them. Don't have them. This is all in the news at the same time. What were you going to say, Bryn? The defeat of the Spanish Armada, which got mentioned again in this chapter. So let's go back to that. Spain in general. They start the 1500s up here. Charles V, King of Spain, Holy Roman Emperor. We own all the treasures of the New World. Blah, blah, blah. And then it just goes. And England goes up. This is all, guys, almost everything we've talked about this entire semester is happening at the same time. And I know it's over a period of 100 years. And that sounds like a long time to you guys. 100 years is not very long in the scheme of history. Many people today still live 100 years. This is within one lifetime. You know, I often think about the fact that my grandpa, who I spent tons of time with my grandparents, I mean, he didn't die till I had 4 children, and he was born in 1917, and he lived for 93 years. So when he was born, airplanes were invented, but they were like biplanes, World War II biplane sort of things. Eventually, my grandpa, guys, got on airplanes and flew all over, flew to Alaska to visit us. When he was a little boy, they still had horses and oxen that pulled the plow through the fields in southern Illinois to farm.
What?
I mean, it had been invented, but not everybody could afford that sort of thing. It's just like cars had been invented, but not everybody's going to have a car, not for a really long time. And my grandpa used to talk about it was kind of nice because whenever the horses needed a break, you got a break too. But he said, combines never have to stop. So that means farmers never stop. They have headlights, you can work at night. They have your cabins, so you don't have to work in the rain. He said back when it was related to animals, they needed a rest, you gave them food and water, you pulled out your lunch and you curled up under a tree and took a nap. But he said now we work all the time. But anyway, my point is, that's one person's life. He went from, yeah, we don't really have cars and airplanes, that's not a thing that normal people use, to, oh yeah, I get in the car, I get in the combine, one life. So 100 years is not really that long. Okay, we talked about this before. This is question number 1. For what was Martin Frobisher searching Luke? A way to get to India. Now, why didn't we already have a way to get to India? Okay, so I didn't bring my map, but here's the world. Between you and me, this is a map of the world. All right, we got it? Everybody watch. Here's the Americas. Here's North America and South America. Here's Europe and Africa. And we want to get over here to the Indies, where the cinnamon and all the good stuff is, okay? And we talked about this. So we're in Portugal and Spain now. We got 4 ways. The Portuguese found the first way first. Go around Africa and just do it that way. Awesome. I mean, it takes a while. But and this part, when you go around the tip of Africa, is kind of stormy and a little dangerous. But we have bases to stop at and refuel, not refuel, get more food and water. Okay, and come back. Great. Then Columbus goes across and he runs in, but you guys aren't watching my map. You're not looking at me. He runs into the map. He runs into the Americas, all right? Till eventually Magellan, those poor 18 guys that finally made it all the way around, he finds you can go around South America and go to the Indies, but this is not a very good way to do it. Why is this not so good? Basically you have to sail all the way around the world, and it takes forever, and you've really, really, really got to take a lot of supplies with you, and so this is not going to be practical. But we've done the two south routes. Now, we have two potential north routes, and we don't know what happens up there. So this chapter talked a little bit about this one. This is Russia. They didn't ever really make it through because it's very cold up there, right? And it freezes. However, interestingly, they did set up bases in Russia and started trading with the Russians. So they got something done. They got trade routes going to Russia, but it didn't get them where they wanted to be. So we got one route left, guys. Where does it go? Point it for me. Here's the map. Point it for me. In other words, I'm going to go to the northwest. Instead of the northeast, I'm going to go to the northwest, so I'm looking for the Northwest Passage. And we talked about this, I think, last week or a couple of weeks ago, the fact that many tried and many died on the attempt to make it through, largely because, I didn't bring my map, but you guys can picture Canada. And surely you've probably looked at enough maps to know that Canada, there's a bunch of islands, there's a bunch of big bays, and you could easily get lost in there and think you were finding your way through, but you're not. There's the St. Lawrence River that looks like, oh, maybe it goes somewhere. Well, it does, but it's not anything helpful if you want to get to India. And then when winter comes, it gets very cold and that all freezes up. And your boat gets stuck in it and you die. My son, the one that's in the military, I talked to him this weekend, and he told me he was listening to a book. He likes to listen to books on Audible while he's driving. And he's listening to one now. Oh, I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was about one of those expeditions. And I think I told you about an expedition where they found the wreckage finally by following the currents. It's that one. He's listening to a book currently about that expedition and then how they discovered where they sank. But nobody knows the details of what happened to the human beings. We know where their boats ended up, but they left the boats. We don't really know. So this is what Martin Frobisher is searching for. Here's the deal. Okay, my map again. The Portuguese pretty much own this route. The Spanish pretty much going back and forth to the New World. England, like, what about us? So they sent John Cabot, whose name wasn't really John Cabot. He was like Johanno Cabato or something like that, and he was Italian. But he was working for England. And they sent him over, and he found Newfoundland. But he never found a way through. He actually found something, though, that was going to end up being more valuable for England than all that supposed gold and silver was for Spain. England made more money long term off going for that Northwest Passage than Spain ever made by plundering the Indians that were there. Does anybody know what was abundant up there? There were several things.
I guess.
What?
Fur.
Okay, one is fur trapping. Beaver pelts. They uber super cash. Every man had a beaver felt hat, not like a Daniel Boone raccoon hat, right? Like these were high style, but to have beaver, it was the thing, right? Like you're not going to buy that at Walmart. You're going to buy that at Von Maur, or like you're going to go to Michigan Avenue in Chicago to an upscale place and buy one of those. So pelts was one of them. It almost seems too obvious. What? Well, land. What was growing abundantly on that land? Trees. Okay, lumber. Guys, by the time of Elizabeth and a little later, there was a problem in England. You remember, y'all know Robin Hood. We didn't read Robin Hood and his Merry Adventures this year together. But are we all familiar with Robin Hood? Yep. Even from the Disney? Okay. And in Sherwood Forest, right? They're hiding in Sherwood Forest, and the Sheriff of Nottingham is chasing them. And by this time, Sherwood Forest has been almost all cut down. Apparently now you can go to a place and it's Sherwood Forest, like it's a few trees, which would not be a good place to hide. FYI, if you set up a band of merry men, outlaws, don't just pick like 3 trees. You need a better forest than that. Well, it was a better forest, but they needed wood for ships, for houses, and they had cut down so many trees in England, it was getting hard. So they would cut down the trees, cut them up into planks, and ship them back. One other thing that abounds off the northeast coast, fish. I mean, really good fish, big fish, tasty fish. And so they started a fishing industry because, guys, think about it. How many years do you think people had been fishing around the British Isles? Like thousands of years? Like the Celts who lived there were fishing. But no, the Indians, the natives here, didn't really go out in boats to fish. They knew about fishing, they cast nets and things like that. But the Europeans came and they could do it bigger and better, and they sent tons of fish. Ben, I don't feel like you're paying any attention. I'm not sure what I'm fine with doodling. But it almost looks like you guys are playing a game or something like that. Okay, I just want to make sure. I don't mind doodling. My kids doodle, but I just want to make sure. So Martin Frobisher was sent by England to try to find this passage, but they ended up finding, even better things, I guess, in the long term. Not, better. A, possibly more useful, and B, that made them more money over the long term. But I realized they came and cut down a bunch of trees, but there's still lots of trees in the Northeast, so apparently they didn't cut them all down. All right, tell me something about Francis Drake. Who is this guy? Anne.
He plundered Spanish ships. He raided the Spanish coast. He attacked the Spanish fleet, and he sailed around the world.
Yeah. What? This guy was awesome.
He was knighted, and Queen Elizabeth is like, just go ahead and keep plundering all the Spanish ships.
They had a secret deal. Publicly, Elizabeth's like, we are not fighting with Spain. And then it's like, okay, everyone leave. Francis, you come over here. So here's permission. I'm giving you written permission. You go attack those Spanish ships. You just go attack those Spanish ships as much as you want. Take everything. And he attacked Spanish ships in a Spanish port. What? And got away with it. I wrote down, okay.
I watched some videos on him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's amazing. Daring. He's audacious. Okay, listen to this. Some idea of the plunder that fell into English hands may be gained from the capture of the Madre de Dios, Mother of God, which was captured, they didn't capture the Mother of God. It was the name of the ship, right? Which was captured and taken in the harbor of Dartmouth in 1592. The ship was described as a floating castle. It was 7 decks high. It had 7 decks, like a 7-story building. Carried 800 men. There were 537 tons of spices on board. And how much is a ton? 2,000 pounds. So 537 times 2,000. So 500 times 2,000 would be 100,000? 500 times 2,000, that's 3, 4, 5, it's 5 zeros. It's a 10 with 5 more zeros. A 10, okay, we have to write this down. It's a 10 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more zeros. A million. A million pounds of spices. Cloves and cinnamon, nutmeg and pepper. The pepper alone was estimated to be worth 102,000 pounds. Today, a pound is about $2.50. So about $250,000, just the pepper. But that's in 1592. $250,000 in 1592. There were jewels and ebony, tapestries, silks, and satins of great value. One ship. And he was just ripping around. He was a pirate. But he was a legal pirate. Elizabeth said, go be a pirate, but just don't tell people that I told you to do it. And he sailed around the world. And he didn't get killed on the way. He actually made it, unlike Magellan. And Queen Elizabeth loved him. Because can't you imagine he comes home and he has these amazing stories to tell? And you could just sit and listen to him for hours talking about all the exciting battles and stories. So this is what England was up to. This also made England a good amount of cash. Elizabeth knew what she was doing. Okay. All right, I want to talk about another guy that I didn't ask you any questions about. And his name is Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh. There is a famous story about Sir Walter Raleigh. And it is this. One day, Elizabeth was walking along the street. And you know, the streets were not paved. The streets weren't very good, and so it was muddy. She came onto a puddle. And Sir Walter Raleigh is supposed to have whipped off his cape and laid it across the puddle. Julia, that wouldn't be gallant. Maybe it was a big puddle. Anyway, and we don't even know if it's a true story, but this is a story. And he laid it over. She was just so charmed by what he did that he was just a favorite. He kind of fell out of favor later. But one thing he did that I want to talk about, which is notable, and it is he really wanted to start settling people in this new world. The Spanish were settling. Why not send people to the New World and set up English colonies? So he decided to do this. He took a group of people over, and they settled on the east on an island off the coast, or I'm not sure it was an island. Anyway, known as Roanoke. Do any of you know about Roanoke?
No.
Oh, okay. I know, it's not row and oak. Roanoke. Okay. If you don't know anything about Roanoke, this is going to be a cool story. Here's the story. He leaves them there. He leaves his daughters among them, I believe. By the way, one lady was pregnant on the voyage, and she gave birth to a little girl named Virginia Dare. And Virginia Dare, named Virginia because they were in the Virginia colonies and after Elizabeth, was the first European baby born in the New World at the colony. Now, here's the deal. They don't have everything they need. I mean, there's a lot of work involved. And then women and children, and as a baby with them now, right? And there's a lot of work. There's not a lot of them. So they weren't sure exactly what was the best spot. So they picked this spot. And Raleigh and his representatives said, okay, we're going to go get more supplies. We think we've left you with everything you need. So here's the deal. If for some reason this doesn't turn out to be a good spot, and you decide to relocate, we want you to carve into a tree the new location. And we'll come here and we'll see the carving in the tree. And we will follow where you went, okay? Well, the guy that was supposed to go back with supplies, he went back to England. Well, there was fighting in England with Spain. There was a lot of going on politically, and he didn't get back again for something like 18 months. It took him a long time to get back. And when he got back, they were gone. They were all gone. Everything was gone. So he looks around, and he looks on the tree, and in the tree is carved CRO. That's it. They never found them. To this day, we do not know what happened to the Roanoke. It's called the Lost Colony. Yeah. Now, there are theories, and here's two. First of all, there was a local group of natives known as the Croatan Indians, CRO. If they're attacking you, and you need to leave a message as fast as you possibly can before you get killed or captured, CRO. But there was also a nearby island that started with Crow. They had boats. Yeah. But they went there to look for them, nothing. They've done surveys of the area, nothing. However, there are people, and this was, the people who claimed this are probably dead by now, but their descendants are still alive, that claim they met gray-eyed Indians later. Now, Indian peoples generally have brown eyes, black hair, brown eyes. It's just, it's the genetic system that they have in their bodies. Where'd they get the light-colored eyes? Unless they kidnapped some Europeans and married some of them, and these were their descendants. We just don't know. I wonder, I would like to do some research on this. Now that we can do DNA testing, it would be really interesting to test some of the people who have been in that area for generations, especially some of the Native Americans. However, you see later, because you probably know your American history, most of the Native Americans living in the East are pushed west through various American policies, and they're not there anymore, or they died out or whatever. But I wonder if there's some way they could use DNA testing. But even then, it wouldn't prove it. It would just prove that they had European ancestry, which a lot of Indian groups, their descendants had European ancestry. It wasn't unknown that European people came and they married Indian women. Pocahontas, right? John Rolfe and Pocahontas. You might remember. Do you know who Pocahontas? Do you know? Kind of. She famously met John Smith in Jamestown. Anyway, she had married John Smith. John Smith was much older than she was. She married a man named John Rolfe. She got permission from her dad. Her dad was a chief of the tribe. And anyway, it happened. Anyway, this is fascinating to me because I like to know things, and I don't get to know that one. Maybe ever, yes.
Yeah, there's an Expedition Unknown episode about that.
About Roanoke?
Yeah, about the lost civilization.
I saw just on Google News this week, apparently there is a Spanish colony of a similar ilk where it disappeared. I didn't know about this. And it talked about, they were looking for they called it the Spanish Roanoke. The one where they came back and they were all gone and they don't know what happened to them. I'm not sure where. I'm not sure if it was on the coast of South America or in Central America, but they found evidence. They found a coin or something, and it's opened up the search. So maybe they will someday find, archaeologists have been working on the East Coast for decades, excavating various colonial sites, but they've never figured out what happened to them. Anyway, I love that story. I think it's very cool. All right. We already talked about this. What great showdown occurred between England and Spain in 1588? Christian?
The fight between the Spanish Armada and
Yes.
the English fleet.
The Spain that was the king of the sea got trounced by England. And this was kind of the final nail in their coffin, as they say, of Spain not becoming as important.
They do nail the coffin, then it would like stick it and put it in the sea, then drown something, like it would sink.
Oh.
If they seal it, then it wouldn't sink.
I don't know. I'm thinking that when you nail up coffins at sea and dump it, they're not really watertight. You know, they haven't caulked them or anything. Thinking water gets in. Unclear. It's a good thought. I do not know the answer to that. But this is what they say, the final nail in the coffin. That seems like a lot of trouble. All right. What's going on between England and Ireland in this period? What's the problem? What's the main problem between England and Ireland? Well, tell me more. Ireland was Catholic, because Mary was Scot. If you're thinking Mary Queen of Scots, that's Scotland, okay? Ireland is Catholic. What is England? Protestant, Anglican, the church that Henry started. But Ireland, Irish tribes sometimes don't get along with each other. This is a notorious thing. And they fight. And then everybody, this is the old story, you invite someone in to help you sort out your troubles. Have you learned nothing from me all year? Don't invite foreigners in to settle your problems, because the foreigners won't leave. The Saxons came in to England to help them fight off the Picts. They took over. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yes, the Romans invite Goths in. Hey, come be in our army. No, don't do it. So, England went over to try to settle things in Ireland, and they just never left. And the area around Dublin, they basically took over. Here's what they did. They said, in this area around Dublin, eventually, you have to be Protestant. Have to be Protestant. And the area around this was called the Pale. Now, pale means several things for us. One thing is a fence. A fence is a pale. And I don't know that there was a literal fence around it, but they referred to it as the Pale. If you lived outside of the Pale, you were beyond the Pale. And this is a phrase we use in English today. Maybe you'll hear this. How do you think the Catholic Irish felt about this? Not fondly at all. Eventually, it became a system where the Irish were oppressed, because if you were Catholic, you couldn't run for office. You couldn't be in government. England sent churchmen and governors there, and the Irish were just plundered and oppressed. And then later, England had the nerve to wonder why the Irish were so poor. Yeah. But that was the big problem. This is another problem that the split in religion caused. The difference between England and Ireland. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say about that. It just says massacres of Irish were carried on in order to suppress rebellions. Yeah, after that, guys, I want you to think back to last fall, last August and September. And we first started reading, we were reading the other Dorothy Mills book, and she said there were all these monasteries, and they were copying manuscripts, and they were making these beautiful things, and they had the most brilliant, learned people in Europe at the time. Where were those people? England and Scotland and Ireland. Monasteries in Ireland saved the gospel. St. Patrick came, and converted them, and then they sent missionaries out. England sent missionaries out. They reconverted parts of England. They converted Northern Europe. When Charlemagne set up his schools, he sent to England for teachers. He sent to England and Ireland for teachers. And now Ireland, at this point in history, is considered a backwater, almost third world country, we would say. Poverty-stricken. This explains why lots and lots of Irish in the 1700s and 1800s moved to America. We have a lot of people of Irish ancestry in America because things were pretty bad in Ireland. And it started when England moved in and started saying, you can't be Catholic. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you know this. You know there are two Irelands? Ireland and Northern Ireland? Mm-hmm. And in Northern Ireland, the capital is Belfast. When I was a little girl in the 70s, so only 50 years ago, I know it's like, oh my gosh, she's so old. Only 50 years ago. We just said 100 years isn't that long.
Yeah.
There were, it was called the IRA, the Irish Resistance Army. Anyway, they regularly blew things up in Belfast. Car bombs and stuff. I mean, it was on the news a lot. And it was mainly about religion. It was mainly about Protestants taking over and the Catholics taking a stand and about opposing English rule there until finally they split off and they just became Northern Ireland. They're their own section. I mean, it's been going on for that long. When in my lifetime, people were blowing things up in Ireland in protest to what was going on there. Okay. What great playwright wrote during the Elizabethan age? Yes, Ben. Shakespeare. Which seems to me a very good time to look at our final sonnet. And I also have your iambic pentameter to get back to. Which you guys did with mixed success. I don't think there's anybody who just totally didn't get it at all.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anybody who totally nailed it in every case, and just don't feel bad about that because it takes some practice. And I'm giving you 1 week of practice. That's not even fair, all right? So I'm going to see if I can recite, all right? I might, what?
I already know what this is.
Oh, good for you, Christian. Don't tell us the whole thing, though. Let's go look 4 lines by 4 lines, okay? But I'm going to see if I can do it without looking, because this is my favorite sonnet, and I memorized it years ago, but I haven't practiced it for a while.
Let's hear it.
Should I do the whole thing, or just 4 lines at a time? Do you want me to do the whole thing, or just 4? The whole thing? It's probably easier for me to do the whole thing, and then we'll go back. I might miss a word, or you don't have to stop me and correct me unless I get stuck, okay? Mark my mistakes?
Yeah, and then we
Seriously? And then you're going to grade me? Okay.
Okay.
When in disgrace with fortune in men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate. Wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented least. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my soul?
State.
And then my state? Oh, pooh. Like to the lark of and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. All right, so I missed one word. And then my state.
This is for this.
Oh, because it has to rhyme with gate.
You got an A minus. You got an A minus.
I got an A minus. Okay. So Christian says he already knows what it's about. Let's look at the first 4 lines. When in disgrace, with fortune in men's eyes, I all alone beweep my outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries. Bootless means useless. And look upon myself and curse my fate. What's happening to me in those 4 lines? How am I feeling?
Sad.
I am really sad. And do we know why I'm sad? Well, no, it doesn't say I'm useless. What are useless? What are bootless?
His bootless cries.
His bootless cries. And what kind of cries? I trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries. What are those cries?
He's dying.
No, who am I talking to in those cries? God. So what are those cries? I'm praying. And God's not listening. I trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries and look upon myself and curse my fate. All right? So I am really, really in the dumps because we still haven't found the because. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes. Two things are making him feel low. What's one thing that's making him feel low?
Fortune.
Fortune. What does that mean?
Money.
Well,
No,
not in this
explain
case.
fortune.
What?
It's kind of hard to explain fortune.
Oh, like if you go to a fortune teller to tell your fortune, what are you looking? So you're not asking for money.
The rest of what your life is going to look like.
Yeah, your fate, right? What fate will bring you. So in other words, in our parlance, if fortune, not money, but the other kind of fortune, if fortune is treating you poorly, what is our phrase that we use? I'm having what? Fortune is not treating me kindly. I'm having, that's it.
What did you say?
That's it.
Bad day?
Well, bad something. I'm having bad
Future. I'm gonna have a bad future.
bad fortune, but we use a much shorter word. Well, not, it's got only got one syllable, I guess. Bad. I go to the, I drove here and I hit every red light, and then I lost my favorite pen. Yes, I'm having a bad time, but I'm having bad luck. We say bad luck. Okay, I know, but that is the way we phrase it. Even as Christians, it's just like we say sunrise and sunset, like we talked about, even though the sun doesn't rise and the sun doesn't set. Ben, no. Sorry, it's very distracting. So bad luck, and what else is making him feel low in that first line?
God doesn't hear his prayers.
Well, not in the first line. When in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes. What does it mean to be in disgrace in men's eyes?
They look at me like,
Yeah, exactly. They're like, get away. You're a loser. That's how he feels.
that's
He's sad because of bad luck and he's being shunned, right? Other people look at him and like, yeah, we don't serve your kind here. That's how he feels. Does everybody follow that? Poetry can be hard because, was that your pencil, Ben?
Yeah.
Why don't you gather up the sections and just put those in your backpack, and then you don't need a pencil right now. So why don't you just sit with empty hands? Sometimes the order of the words is different, right? Okay, let's look at the next four. Wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope. That means his abilities. With what I most enjoy, contented least. What does this guy want? He wants several things. He looks at other people and he wants things that they have. What are some of the things he wants?
Man's art and that man's scope.
Okay, other people have talents. I don't have any talents. I don't have anything I'm good at. What else does he not have that he wants? That he looks at other people and they have them?
Hope.
Friends. Hope. Everybody else is having a good time. I'm the only one having a terrible time. Others have friends. What can we just say? Skills, right? Scope could also mean like hope for the future, prospects, good prospects. The good things are going to happen to them. And he wraps it up by saying, with what I most enjoy contented least. What do you think that means? With what I most enjoy contented least. I suspect we've all felt this way sometime. What do you most enjoy? You don't have to answer, but you can think it in your head. Can you picture a time when you were so low that that didn't even make you happy?
Yeah.
Good. You're so just wiped. Either you're sick or you're just depressed or something really bad happened and you don't even want to do the things that usually make you happy. They don't even work on you anymore.
That's happened before.
Okay. And it's a bummer.
Yeah.
Because what do you do? What do you do? If your favorite thing doesn't help, what do you do? Yes. What if sleeping is your favorite thing? Well, yeah, maybe you can't fall asleep. Well, maybe that. Okay. Now, let's see what happens. This sonnet's a little different because the next four are not just a repetition. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising, haply I think on thee. Happily, not happily. Happily means by chance.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly, just out of the blue. Haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day arising from sullen earth, sings hymns at heaven's gate. Okay, so I'm like this. Life stinks, everything stinks. Yet in these thoughts, myself almost despising. Haply I think on thee. It just happened. Like, oh, but there's that person. And then my state does something. And it's compared in a simile. It's like what? A lark singing. A lark who does what? It's sitting on the ground, waiting for the sunrise, or it's sitting on its little branch, and it's waiting. By the way, larks are known for beautiful singing. Right? And so it's waiting, and it's cold, and then suddenly the sun comes up. And the lark just soars, right? From sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate. But that's what his state of mind does. Yes?
Is there a trash can anywhere?
There is a trash can if you turn around the corner,
No.
right there, and you go right ahead and use it. So, what makes him feel better? What makes his state fly like a lark and sing hymns?
Happily I think on thee.
Thinking, I think of you. And all is better. I think of you and all is better. And then we have our final two lines. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings. Up here, I'm like, everybody else has better stuff than me. Everybody else is happy. I don't have any friends. I don't have anything good. I have bad luck all the time. And then he thinks on who the poem is addressed to. Now, how does he feel? Would he change places with anyone else in the world? No. Not even kings. Because I have you. I suddenly remembered I have you. Now, here's what I like about this poem. I feel like if you wanted to remember, this could be a very religious poem. Because you could be Jesus. You could be God. I don't think he intended it that way. But I see no reason why we can't use it that way. Do you know what I mean? Because if you've never felt like this, I'm so happy. But I fear that someday in your life you're going to feel like this a little bit. Because we're human beings. And here's what happens to our lives. They go, right? That's just kind of what happens. Things are going good and things are going poor. And then you get the email that says you got the tour, and then you try too many times and they blocked you, and then you're son, and then your son calls the Vatican, and then you get an email saying we've canceled your tour, and then you go to the laundromat and you come back and it's like, yay, I have zero. Okay, that only happened in one day, about 1 week anyway. So I feel like when we think on God, when we're in this state, if we remember that who you are, you wouldn't want to change places with anyone because God made you who you are. I don't think that's Shakespeare's intent, but I like it. All right, I brought some Shakespeare-y things. Bryn and Ann have already gotten a preview of some of them, but I thought some of them you might, and I have not forgotten, and I do have a game, and we are going to eat those cake pop things. So nobody freak out. We got half an hour. All is well. I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I do have your iambics. All right, so here's what I did. I scanned them. What does that mean? I don't even, this one doesn't even have a name, so I can't be outing anyone, whoever you are. I don't really know who you are. So see the little red lines above each syllable? What I did is a short, this means a short syllable, and this means a long. So, Michelle. See, that's how I would scan my name. Michelle. I'm not Michelle. We did this before. None of the rest of you are that way, and too many of you have one syllable. This really messes it up.
Michelle and Benjamin.
Yeah, you do. You have 3. So, Julia. So which one of, I don't know what happened to that either. So which one of those do you say with more emphasis? Julia. The jewel. So we would say Julia. That's how I would scan it, right? Katya. Katya. You can hear, you say the first one. You're the opposite of me. I don't say Michelle, but you say Katya. I say Michelle. So, but that's what he did. I drew the little thing. What are you going for? Perfect would be this. Da da, da da, da da, da da, da da. 10 syllables. Now, some of you gave me not 10 syllables. After I warned you, but you know what? I'm not, it's our last day together this year, and I'm not in the mood to berate people. Just not in the mood. But some of them, I took the time to take that one and fix it so that I rewrote it so that it would be perfect below. I don't know if I took that time. But does anybody want to claim this? It might be yours, Christian, because you were...
Yeah, I don't
Does
Oh,
this-
yeah, that is.
Okay. So, and some of you I wrote perfect. But anyway, if it looks like that, then it means it's perfect. Oh, and some of you have revisions that I'm returning as well. And Luke, can I show everybody Luke's wonderful artwork? I just saw this and I thought, oh, somebody drew me a picture. I didn't know it had your things on the back. Katya, I think this is your rewrite. I don't remember which one is. And here's your thingy. Here's your thingy, and I don't know. Oh, it's you, Ben. All right, Ben.
Is it my handwriting?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Next year we're going to work on. For everybody who's returning, we're going to work on neatness. For some people. So if you did this, if it's scanned like this, it's perfect. It takes some practice to hear. But here's what I was happy about. Everybody seemed to have made an effort. Because I will just say that sometimes I do get groups and it's just painfully obvious nobody even made the effort. You just wrote down a bunch of words and you didn't even think about how it sounded. But generally, the or an isn't going to be one of the strong ones. So it's more than just counting out the syllables. It's the rhythm, and it just takes a lot of practice. But I would say everybody gave it a good shot, even if you didn't get it perfect. What were you going to say, Luke? Oh, you weren't going to say anything? Oh, okay. So I brought in this children's book just to talk a little bit about Shakespearean theater. And here's the deal. If we go through this pretty fast, then we have more time for the game. And if people keep talking and not paying attention, then they have less. Do you have a question?
No.
No, seriously. If somebody has, why is this not right, or why did you scan it that way?
I was looking at his perfect sentence.
Oh, the one that I said perfect? All right. Da-da. Okay, so before really Elizabethan times, there were not theaters. You couldn't go to a theater. I did it again. I forgot my William Shakespeare action figure.
You have a William.
Yes, he's got a little pen in his hand and he holds a book and everything. Man. Okay, my son got it for me. Last year I got for Christmas I got action figures. And my husband got me action figures and my son got me action figures. Like and they didn't even know. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 action figures.
What were they?
I got William Shakespeare. I got 2 action figures from a movie called Young Frankenstein. And I got Marty McFly and Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Yes.
And they're really good. They're really nice. You can switch their hands. And Marty has a guitar. And Marty has And Doc has the goggles and the wrench in his hand and all the plans and everything. Okay, it's awesome. Okay, if you guys ever come to my house for an event, I can show you the shrine to Back to the Future. Okay, back to this though.
I've seen your big Millennium Falcon.
You've seen my big Millennium Falcon. So the people, when they did plays, they just basically loaded all their stuff up in carts and carted and went from town to town and just set up a little portable stage in front of their cart and did a play. And most of the plays were Bible stories. Or they were warnings, like some evil man is a character, and then like demons come on, and we're going to take you straight to hell if you don't change your ways. And then angels come on and says you should be a good person, and they're called morality plays, because their whole point is to tell people you need to straighten up and follow God and be in the church. But in the Renaissance times, people started writing plays like we think of plays. All right, made up stories. Often they were based on an event, like Macbeth, right? Is based. There was really a king of Scotland named Macbeth, although he changed some of the things. So, but they started building theaters, permanent theaters, in London and other major areas. Later on, when the Puritans took over the government, they shut the theaters down briefly. I was going to talk about that today, but I don't have time. This is a wonderful book. This is just a wonderful book. And if I just had lots of time, I would just read the whole book to you, but I'm not going to. This is the story of how Shakespeare became a writer, and they finally built him a theater called the Globe Theater, but you can't guess what shape it was. It was a circle. It was a circle down here at the bottom.
Isn't it Colosseum a theater?
What?
Isn't the Colosseum technically a theater? Because gladiators could be a play.
Well, a theater is actually a semicircle. An amphitheater is a circle like the Colosseum. Technically, this is an amphitheater, but the theater comes just from the word in Greek to watch, to look at. So it's a place where you look at things. So at this point, they just called it a theater. And it had a stage, all the things you think of. You guys who were in a play, right? It has a stage, it has scenery in the back. Not much scenery, because they figured you could use your imagination. And so there were choices. Oh, here's a nice picture of people in the theater. So if, it doesn't matter. Let me have a turn now. It's going to be my turn. Well, I'm sorry, that's a legitimate question. I don't know. It doesn't matter, because the point is what it looks like inside the theater, okay? You have the stage. If you're super duper rich, you could buy a seat up above the stage, but you'd see it from behind. I feel like maybe that's not, I should come over here to where the camera is. Then you can buy balcony seats. Some of you might have been, like at the Adler or whatever. They have the balconies, side seats. Or then, if you're just not wanting to spend much, you can just stand in front of the stage. You don't get a chair. And y'all know how long a Shakespeare play runs, right? Because, Macbeth is the shortest one. So you could do it maybe in under 2.5 hours. Longest, you're going to need at least 3, to 3.5 maybe for the longest histories. But it doesn't matter because it was cheap. And you come in and you get to stand there. Yes, you're a...
Do you know what time they would put the plays on?
I do not know. That is a very good question. They had a roof around it, thatched, and which means made of grasses, which was a very popular way of. Here, this one has good pictures too. I want to show you that picture because it's funny. They had a trap door often so that, like a ghost, if it's Hamlet and you have a ghost comes up from below. But if you are one of the people who is paying for cheap seats, first of all, there was a little awning that went over the people with the nice seats. They have a little, roof. You don't get a roof. The sun just beats on you if it rains. That's too bad for you. It was cheap. It was a cheap ticket. Whatever. People, just like at a football game today, people walked through and they sold you food and snacks and stuff. But sometimes people weren't enjoying the play very much and they would just like throw vegetables at you or whatever. It says here, all sorts of people stood in the crowded yard. There were fish porters, farm workers, soldiers, sailors, butchers, shoemakers, and servants. The only thing they had in common was that everyone looked down on them. They were nicknamed groundlings, penny stinkards, and scarecrows. The groundlings were named stinkards because they liked to chew on raw garlic. A number of actors complained you could smell their foul breath up on the stage. Nice. If you have a play where someone is murdered, we want it to look as real as possible. So here's what we do. The actor puts a bag of pig's blood under his costume and they poke it open when they stab him. They just poke it a little bit and then blood just gushes out of him all over the stage.
Take a shower.
Awesome. Well, not like a shower exactly, but just...
Take a shower after that.
So Shakespeare had this Globe Theater, and they were producing his plays, and it was awesome. And then, unfortunately, they were doing a play, and during the play, a cannon was shot off. It didn't really shoot a cannonball, but it was just what we would call a blank. But sparks were involved, and the spark caught the thatched roof on fire, and it burnt the Globe Theater down.
That's nice.
This was really sad, but no one was hurt except for one guy whose pants caught on fire, and somebody dumped a tub of beer on his pants to put out the fire, so he was okay. I know, Katya. This is true, though. This is the deal. So here's the thing. Shakespeare was getting older. They didn't rebuild the Globe Theater, and then we come to an American. This book comes to an American filmmaker and actor, and he loved Shakespeare, and he decided he wanted to rebuild the Globe. And at the time that he was trying to raise money for this, they found the foundations in London. Archaeologists found the foundations of the Rose Theater, which was nearby, so they knew the layout, and they have rebuilt the Globe Theater. And today, if you go to England, you can see a Shakespeare play in the Globe Theater. However, they put a sprinkler system up on the roof.
That's so tough.
Yeah, it's thatched. It's still, they did a thatched roof and everything, but yeah, they added a sprinkler system. And the gates to go in are carved, they're little carvings of all the characters from his plays.
That's awesome.
I know. So what?
Is he in there?
I don't know. I don't know. That's something you could look up online. I was going to retell you a Shakespeare play, but I think you probably rather eat your cake pops and do our game. So I'm not going to do that. But let me add just one thing. After this is not Shakespeare related, just to kind of finish out the story. Elizabeth eventually died with no heirs. And the son, I believe I told you this last week, the son of Mary, Queen of Scots, little James, became King of England and Scotland. And James was, but he had a son named Charles. James came to England, and he really had the idea that he was put there by God, and everybody should really have to do everything he said. And Parliament just wasn't used to that. Like, dude, we have a Parliament? Ever since we started as a country, but especially ever since Magna Carta, you can't do things like just go to war and ask for money without summoning Parliament. That's not how it works. And James said, well, that I don't care. And they didn't really get on with him very well. Well, his son Charles was even more like that. Like, I don't know why you all just don't give me money. And like, Charles, this isn't the way it works. They ended up having a civil war in which Charles was beheaded.
Ooh.
And a Puritan named Oliver Cromwell took over and ruled for 11 years.
Not that guy.
Oliver Cromwell. And he shut down all the theaters and things. And then Oliver Cromwell died, and they didn't like his son very much, and everybody decided they were just tired of it. And you know what? They brought back Charles's son, the guy they chopped his head off. They asked his son to come back and be their king. There's more to the story, but that takes us into the 1600s. Anyway, all right. Let us hand out some cake pops.
Over here, Gracie said one for each person.
One for each? Looks like
No, she shared with her class. Because she's just homeless like that.
Who's homeless?
Yes.
let's just take a look.
Are we saving? Is this supposed to be for her class as well? Okay.
Just one each.
Yeah, let's take one each. That's a good plan. In case the idea is that she wants the high school class to get some too.
Oh, Mad Libs.
We are doing Mad Libs.
I love Mad Libs.
Oh, well, I've never done this one. Let's do this one. I'm actually going to. I'll eat a cake pop with you guys, but I won't eat one with the high school. But it looks like there's plenty for the high school. Could one of you? Okay, actually, I'll do it.
What do you need?
I was just going to rewrap so they don't dry out.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know what?
These are
These are
fire.
W.
There's just nothing worse than a dried out cake pop.
These are buns.
Oh, baby.
These are double digits in the book.
So good.
Oh, I'm being recorded, maybe.
These are buns.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We do. I can't wait. That's gonna be fun.
Does everyone know how Mad Libs work?
McDonald's.
Are these the ones that
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. No.
adverbs and stuff that you add?
Not gonna be argued.
Do you know? Have you done Mad Libs before?
They're fun.
So this is basically, it's a very limited educational value, but it does test you on your parts of speech. So we're going to start with Bryn. And basically, we're just going to go down the table around, but we have time to do more than one, okay? So,
Is it the same thing that we did with the other building?
except this is a different,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
don't we all start with a piece of paper and we all write it and then we keep passing around?
no, that's something else.
Oh, that was
Thank
so
you.
fun.
Yes, that was fun too. All right, Brim, I need an adjective.
I need to get the recipe for these.
No, that always turns
What do you do,
out.
Lonnie?
Get a napkin. Check, get a napkin.
Your mouth is Yeah, your mouth is
Let's go, let's go.
Check, get a napkin.
Wait, what?
What is it?
Freaky.
Freaky.
Yo, bro.
Yeah, Bim, no offense. Try to keep the mess to a minimum.
No, I'm gonna go.
That's okay. That's good. That's what napkins are for. Am a noun. Bread.
What?
Did you say Gwyn?
Oh well, actually, can we not? Because the next is person in the room.
Just do another person.
Actually, we'll use that.
I'm personal.
No. We'll switch you two. Luke, give me a noun. Stop telling other people what to say.
Yeah, Christian.
Just,
Alright, Caroline.
Oh, holy.
no, it can't be another, it needs to, not, it can't be a name.
Spider.
Spider?
I'm scared now.
Okay, Christian, noun.
A noun?
Yeah, and don't make it a proper noun unless it asks for a proper noun.
Racism. It's an idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll work.
What?
It is a thing,
No, it's a noun.
Ben, you also get a
Another
noun.
name, so I just thought of the first idea.
What's mine? So I can think.
Yours is another person in the room.
Please do it.
Dog. Guys, stop prompting other people.
Yeah,
yep.
because then it ruins the fun of it.
Yeah.
So we don't know what to do.
I'm gonna go with Luke.
What?
Luke. Good boy, Luke.
Katya, a famous person. We just said stop telling people what to
I thought of Taylor Swift, so let's just go with Taylor Swift.
do. Who? Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Wait, what if it's like Luke gets to meet Taylor Swift? What if that was the thing? It's
Luke
like,
proposes the idea.
Noun.
of Taylor Swift.
Dude, you should do this.
Just a common noun, not something coffee, not something you would capitalize. Plural noun. There's more than one.
wait, what was that? Wait,
You know what?
who was the first one to land on the
Guys,
Neil Armstrong?
You know, I'm sorry. I know that you're having fun, and I love that. But I'm having trouble hearing the answers, so that means it's too much fun. There's just too much fun happening. Stop with too much fun. Okay, Luke,
yeah.
another person in the room.
Christian.
I did not know this one had so many people in the room. Christian, a noun.
A noun. Baseball.
Baseball bat.
Wait, is noun a noun?
A baseball or baseball bat.
What?
What did you say?
Baseball bat.
Okay.
Is noun a noun?
Huh?
Yeah,
No, noun. The word noun is a noun.
I would think so.
An adjective.
It's a thing. A noun is a thing. Okay, but unfortunately, Ben, you get adjective.
You're a person.
Bro!
So adverb is describing something.
Yeah, an adjective. What?
Brown?
Brown, sure.
Could be.
Julia, type of food.
Type of food. Ramen.
What?
Ramen.
Oh, that's good.
Ramen.
That's good. Oh, Katja, you get another type of food.
Yeah, it is. Okay,
Hey, I can't hear anything. Tacos. Yeah. All right, Bryn. Type of liquid. Coffee has already been used. See, if I were in 5th grade, that's what somebody would say. My teacher would probably say, no, we're not allowed. Antifreeze. Yeah, you got the spirit. Antifreeze. All right. Anne. Adjective. Anne likes Harry. Luke. A number.
6?
Alright, 6.7.
Could you
6.7.
please? Okay. Christian. A plural noun.
Boys.
Boys.
The boys.
Another person in the room. It can be yourself if you want.
put in.
Julia.
Yay!
Did we already use Julia? No.
No, I have not been used.
So Christian.
Well,
All right. And the last one, Katya. Oh, no. Oh, you. Ben. Oh, I'm sorry. Katya, you get to be first in the next one, okay? No, we'll do another one. We got time to do another one. You can be first. Okay. An exclamation, something you would shout out when you're surprised or upset or something with an exclamation point. Something that's not, that's socially and morally acceptable.
Maybe like scream something.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
okay,
you
shut
step.
up.
Sure.
Does that work?
Sure, that'll do.
I want to. Okay, guys, everyone be quiet. I want to hear that.
All right, now is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes.
You have to be quiet, although laughter is allowed, obviously.
We should do try not to laugh.
Wait, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Alright.
Okay, for laughs is that okay?
Try not to laugh.
Okay.
That's rough.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, it is called the school party. I need my glasses for this. We had a freaky party at school last year. Our spider teacher, Bryn, let us use the racism room. And my favorite dog teacher, Luke, was in charge of the decorations. We all drew pictures of Taylor Swift on colored paper and hung them on a long coffee. And then we cut out stars, snowflakes, and rooms and pasted them on the windows. Then Christian, who is my math baseball bat, made the brown refreshments. I guess we are having. That's a little. We had ramen burgers
Yo, that's.
Okay, that actually does sound good.
and tacos
It's not
Ooh, tacos.
and cups of hot antifreeze. Our principal, this is supposed to be a Christmas party, I left it out. Our principal bought a really hairy tree that was 6.7 feet tall.
6'7".
And everyone put their boys under it. Julia dressed up like Santa Claus and said, "Shut up."
That is not Santa Claus drawing this.
Police. 7, 2, 3 is Digestion.
Set to
Wait,
the
wait, do you
spider
wanna read
ring and
Alright, guys, let's do another one.
Okay.
Send the racism room.
Wait, we have to
Who
hurry
made
up.
grounds?
Let's do another one.
Hey, yo!
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Katya, you get the first one. An adjective.
Fluffy.
Round.
Bryn, name of a female person. It does not have to be in this room. Just a female name. It can be a famous name. It could just be a name. That's very specific.
No, do the middle name. Anne Elizabeth.
Wow.
Anna, how do you know? Oh yeah, your middle name is Edward.
Anne, a noun.
William.
Yes.
Hey. Oh, don't be cocky.
Hey, William.
Turn that like a flop.
Two.
Okay, I'll call you Will.
Will, you go.
Race car. That will actually be pretty funny. Okay, Luke. We'll skip this one because it's same name of person. So Ann Collins. Sorry. Okay, you get a noun.
Christian.
The Batmobile.
Oh, tell Kate.
Oh yeah.
A black mobile.
Okay, Christian, another noun.
Another noun. Did you do racism again?
No.
Aw, shoot, okay. Um, awesome, wait, party.
Awesome party.
Awesome party.
Well, it just has to be noun, so just party.
Party.
Party in the U.S.
Okay, Ben, you get an adverb. Usually it's going to end in ly.
Oh.
Depressingly.
Depressingly. Julia, a verb ending in ing.
A verb.
Yeah, an action word ending in ing.
Action word.
Ben.
Slapping.
Slapping.
Someone put Ben's name.
Katya. Another noun.
Ben.
Not you. House.
Bryn. A number.
Kellen. His name's Kellen. His real name's Kellen.
Let her pick. Oh, well, she's very amenable. Okay. And you get a verb. You know what? This is weird. I did this one before, and that's exactly what's already written in the spot from however many years ago I did it. Somebody else chose that there. Okay. Luke, you get an event. Like,
Don't say pudding.
like think of an event that people go to and attend. A prom. Prom.
From that massacre.
Okay. Christian, noun.
Noun? What's a good idea? This thing.
Romantic.
No, no, not romantic.
That would be an adjective.
No, romantic is prom.
Gummy bear. Gummy bear.
Chicago, I guess.
Yeah, that's not real. That's a proper noun. It's a place, so that's not really what they're going for.
Person, place, thing, right? Okay.
Yeah, but I know. But in this case, they usually say place.
Gummy bear.
I don't know.
Kate.
I bet.
Cape.
Case. Yeah, I'll do
Kate.
Okay, Ben. A past tense verb.
Oh.
Ran.
Ran,
Ram.
like past tense of run. Okay. Julia. Noun.
A noun. Christian.
Well, let's not do a person when unless it's proper noun.
Cup? No, don't put that.
And yours is a male person. It could be any male person, like famous or not, or just any man. But we're still working on your noun.
A book.
Okay, book. All right, you get, and yours is going to be a plural noun, Bryn.
Did he do it?
What is it?
What's
Benson
that?
Boone. Benson Boone.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but
Famous singer.
He's
apparently not very famous. Okay, what's your plural noun?
That's what?
Bugs? Bug?
Thugs. I thought you said thugs.
Bugs or thugs? Pugs, like the dog?
No, like thugs, like they're
Okay,
kidnapping you.
can everybody else be quiet? Ba, th, or puh? Thugs. This is somebody calling to make an appointment.
Oh, gosh.
It is to be performed by two fluffy actors.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, first actor is the receptionist. She says, "Good morning, Ann Collins Beauty and Race Car Salon." Woman on the phone, "I'd like to make an appointment with Ann Collins to have my Batmobile colored and my party dried." Receptionist, "Oh, I'm depressingly sorry. She isn't in today. She had a slapping accident and broke her house in 11 pieces." Woman on the phone, "Oh my, that's terrible. Who can fly me? I'm going to my daughter's prom tonight. I can't possibly go without having my tape styled and my eyebrows ran. And I just discovered a broken book." Receptionist, "Relax, madam. Benson Boone is the answer to all your thugs." No idea what that means.
You don't know what Benson Boone is?
No, I don't.
I bet everybody here does.
I know.
Except
I know.
I
I
quit
lived in the 80s.
listening. I also live in the 80s. Okay. I know who Cyndi Lauper is, and I know who, U2 is, and I know who Sting is. Okay.
I don't know any.
See, there you go. Right back at you.
No, whatever, whoever she said.
The people I said. Have a wonderful summer.
Thank you so much.
I loved having you guys. I may do some things over the summer. Hey, I know there's going to be a Shakespeare play in the park. I'll if we try to get a group together to meet, because I don't remember what they're doing, but I feel like they were doing something pertinent. They always do a Shakespeare play in the park every summer. Anyway, I'll let you know. But otherwise, have a great summer. And many of you, most of you, I believe, I will see you next fall.